So, if you guys paid attention on the mother channel, which is the Random Alpha, the one that's supposedly dedicated to skits, well, you guys may have known that once upon a time I was on Windows. In fact, I started making videos on Windows, but due to what you see here and what I've been using before, my MacBook Pro, yeah, I don't use Windows anymore. I use macOS. In fact, I've actually been using macOS for 13 months, I suppose. So, I've been using macOS for about that long. Yeah. So, what do I think as a person who used to use Windows switch to a Mac? Well, let's find out! So some of the big things that you kind of have to get used to at first are some of the layout changes. Like, for example, start menu, there's nothing in that corner right there. It's Launchpad. Just tap that or push this button on your keyboard and voila, that's Launchpad. That's where you open up all of your apps. And also on the MacBook, you also get a dedicated gesture for it, which is pretty nice. But there are a lot more than just that. There's also this menu bar up here that's always there no matter what. It took me a while to get used to that, but oh well, then it's no big deal. Same as all the other controls. In fact, I use these controls a lot more frequently than I did with the Windows controls. I don't know why, it's just that's how it turned out to be. The dock here, one thing about it drives me nuts is that it gets a little messy. Like, as you can see, I got Finder, Launchpad, Safari, Mail, Photos, Calendar, Pages, Keynote, Numbers, iMovie, GarageBand, Photo, Image Editor, Pixel Style, Messages, FaceTime, Music, and the App Store, and the settings and the trash, all in one bar at the same time, even when all programs are closed, except Finder, because for some reason Finder doesn't close, and that still kind of drives me nuts, because oftentimes when I go to open a new window, I have no idea if that Finder has other windows open, because technically, you cannot leave the program closed. There is a way to close it and remove it, but it really ruins using the Mac if Finder's not open. Finder's always open, and speaking of which, something that really took me some time to get used to was the traffic light. I understood what red meant, that meant close it, but I thought it was going to be like a mirror image of the Windows buttons where they're on the right versus the left. They're not. Took me a while to get used to that because I thought the yellow dot was full screen when in reality it disappears back into the dock. And evidently it's green that's full screen. And one thing that still drives me nuts is I really do not like having to bring my mouse back up here to get the green button to appear again. For example, full screen again. No green button, you have to jam the mouse up there to actually hit it, and every now and then it doesn't respond, which is not very nice. Oh well, I normally don't view my windows in full screen mode either way, because that's not how I use my screen real estate, especially Finder. I never use Finder in full screen mode. I have completely switched from Firefox to Safari. I use Safari for just about everything except my streaming. I use Chrome for streaming. I still use Firefox every now and then, like for example, I have it installed right here. But other than that, I mostly have switched to Safari, which is pretty nice because I really like Safari on mobile. I was really excited to see Safari on the desktop, and you know what? I'm kind of sad that they removed Safari from Windows because that was really nice. Photos is useless. I barely use that. I thought I was going to use it a lot more, but evidently you only use it with iCloud photos, which I don't use because really, Apple, 5 gigabytes of iCloud storage? Something about that needs to be changed. Though obviously when I switch from Windows to a Mac, that also means I lost access to that previous video editor which I was using, also known as Microsoft Movie Maker, and as you figured, only available on Windows. But I'll be honest, I'm really not complaining because I got a much better editor than Microsoft Movie Maker. iMovie, practically dead reliable. I gained a lot more features that my previous editor did not have, which was 2 tracks. I could have 2 video tracks, one on top of another. Did not have that with my previous editor, which made it really challenging, especially when I had dual cameras, when I wanted one to appear at the same time as another. Multiple audio tracks is really nice. Like, I can add sound effects as well as background music versus only one line of sound each time. I've also completely switched from Microsoft Office to the Pages, Keynote, and Numbers, the iWork suite, because, well, first of all, it's free. Second, it's much easier to use, and actually, I've practically misplaced functions in Microsoft Word, not to mention, I started to lose my fandom of Microsoft Office. It's just become, the fact that it's become a subscription service at this point, I'm sorry, I'm not paying a subscription service just so I can do my work. The fact that the iWork suite is free and can actually open anything I throw at it that's related to a document, to me, that's quite impressive. Yeah, I think I'll stick to the iWork suite. It's very functional, and when Linus described it as basic in his why macOS is just flat out better video, link in the description, I do not like how he said basic, because the truth is, this is a lot more than just basic. And then what about the keyboard commands? Because obviously the Mac has a different keyboard compared to Windows, if some have actually not noticed that. Yes, there are a different keyboard layout. There's the command, option, control's actually not on the end. The end key is actually the function, but the control is closer in. The command is basically control on the Mac, so if you want copy and paste, instead of control-C, control-V, it's command-C and command-V. Didn't really take that long to get used to it. I did have to relearn how to redo things, because on the Windows keyboard it's Control-Y. This, it's Command-Shift-Z. Slightly different. But I also learned how to do screenshots, and let me tell you this, guys, I still don't know how to do screenshots on Windows. I want a hotkey. I have tried hotkeys on Windows 10. Let me tell you, I haven't found one yet. Yeah, the keyboard didn't take that long to get used to. I also liked how I gained a lot more functionality with my phone. I can't really show you this right now because my phone is my camera at the moment. But I like how I can sync my messages between my Mac. I can also do phone calls on my Mac using my phone number. Why can't you do this on Windows? And there's just so many other little touches, like AirDrop, for example, which has really helped my work. Still not present on my MacBook because the hardware is too old. I also did a wireless card upgrade on this, so that way I could use AirDrop. And there will be a card for that video right here. Come on. Come on, where's that card? Thank you. Yeah, once I got AirDrop on this thing, my work has become so much easier because I've absolutely hated trying to get footage onto this thing. It's no longer a problem. All I have to do is just tap share, select the files I want, and my iMac is one of the first things to show up in AirDrop. Tap that, bam, footage transferred. Something I will never get on Windows. I'd love to have it, but I know I'm never going to get it. Pretty much what I can think of in terms of switching from Windows to macOS. There have been some things that, yeah, required some slight adjustment, like the traffic light, but it didn't even take that long to get used to. And now, especially with the M1 MacBooks and, well, just the M1 Macs coming to market, once I managed to actually buy one of them, assuming that I can get this channel monetized so I can afford it, that would be awesome. But yeah, after using this for over a year now, and I'm not referring to just my iMac, I'm referring to macOS in general, I don't think I'm switching back to Windows anytime soon. Basically all I have to say about macOS. It's pricey, but for what it is very well worth it. Thank you for watching this video. Do me a favor and interact with the buttons below. My name is DeWolf, Random Alpha, signing out.